Welcome, everyone. This is Jean Voice Dart with another episode of Courageous Creative Conquerors. Today, I'm pleased to be interviewing Patrick Littlejohn, musician, composer, and orchestrator. This is a live phone interview from California to North Carolina, and it's a joy to be here with you today, Patrick.
Thank you very much.
So, Patrick, I love your story, and particularly that you, all of this happened during tough times as well. You know, you saw it all: racism, Jim Crow, segregation, rioting. You suffered severe illness, pulmonary sarcoidosis, and you thought you were going to die, and you had seizures, mental health issues, broke your leg, ankles, back, shattered your vertebrae. But this dream kept telling you that you could save your life through music. And so that's what you did. I particularly like that you fought back against everything around you that was telling you, no, 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 don't believe in your heart. Don't do jazz. Do the classical music. That's the only music that we honor here. But you listened to your heart. You beat through that and you did what you loved. And it's so encouraging for all these people out here, expressive artists and people that have a passion for something, and they might be thinking, there's too much against me. There's too much against me, but you didn't let go. You kept pushing and you made your dream come true. And now your music is all over social media, and people all over the world love your music. It has a sense of calm and peace. So, Patrick, I want to hear from you. Tell me, where are you right now? How are things going for you? And why is music so important to you?
Well, right now I'm living in a retirement home for the disabled, the handicapped, and the senior citizens, whatever. And I have been here nearly 12 years, you see. Now, my life has been really hard. It has really been really hard. I have faced death many times, and I have been in the hospital fighting for my sanity many times. And I overcame these obstacles by having my faith.
So you've been in a retirement center for over 12 years, disabled and physical, mental challenges, but you've overcome all these problems because of your faith. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and that's one thing that can really save you, man, is having faith and visualizing yourself being healthy and whatever, And I did this.
I totally agree. Yes.
But I had a hard life. And I am in Asheville now because I had a problem, nervous breakdown, sickness, illness, in which they put me in a nursing home, for years. Now, I have been really religious all my life. I brought up Catholic, and I spent about a year at a seminary, St. Mary's College Seminary, where I lived with the nuns, the priests, and the monks.
Oh my goodness! Really?
Yes. And I was brought up Catholic because my father, he's got Irish, you see, and Cherokee, you see. So I was brought up Catholic, serving Mass all the time, and doing all I can around the church, cutting grass and cleaning up and doing all these things. I was a very holy person, man. Wouldn't lie. It was like I was a saint, you see, all my life. And then when I went to college, I studied under the Presbyterian ministry, you see, and I studied there. I got a degree in music, and studied religion there when I was there too. They had a curriculum about ministers.
So, Patrick, you earned a degree in 1977, and you've written and orchestrated many, many songs, but you earned your degree and you had a dream focusing on music, composing music.
Yes, a BA degree in music. But the thing about it, my health, I got sick. I had to drop out of school for 7 years. I faced death. They thought I was going to die. And they sent me to the American University of Charleston.
So hold on a minute. So they thought you were going to die. Why? What were your symptoms? What was going on?
I had a deadly lung disease called a pulmonary sarcoid. Yes, and there was no cure for it. No cure for it. So I had to go to, Charleston Medical University in Charleston. Yes, I stayed there. I stayed there for a while, but there was no cure. But the doctor put me on some sort of medicine, which was steroids, and he told me, that it's going to be side effects from the medicine that they were giving me. Yes, ma'am. He said, but we're going to have to deal with the side effects. Yes, dropped out of school, and I stayed at home. And then when I started to get better, I started playing at a jazz club. But the thing about it, you see, I was studying classical music. You see, they would not let me study jazz.
Why wouldn't they let you study jazz? I love jazz.
I had an instructor who was strictly classical. I would order books from the Downbeat magazine.
I used to get that magazine, Downbeat magazine. Yeah.
I would order discourses and things out of the Downbeat magazine. I would practice Chopin, Beethoven, and all that. And the director, man, he would send people out to me, screaming at me, if you can't play your homework, get off the piano, man. He didn't want me to playing in the jazz.
Well, wait, can you tell me and tell everybody, because I love jazz, can you tell everybody why was your heart wanting to do jazz instead of this classical training that you had? Tell us a little bit about your passion for jazz and improvisational piano.
Yeah, you see, when I was in high school, the band director was a jazz trumpeter. He was Clifford Brown. When we were in high school, we would play some jazz. He had a jazz orchestra, and I got kind of attached to it. You see, and then I wanted to play jazz in college, but they wouldn't let me do it. But I would go and study it anyway. But I had a problem. See, he did not want jazz. He did not want jazz. Played and performed, at the school. So what I did something, man. It took nerve. It took nerve. I put together a jazz and R&B orchestra. Wow!
And how many people were in that group that you put together?
I had 12 horns.
That's a lot.
Yeah, drums. That was an orchestra. This was an orchestra. We had drums, myself on piano, or organ, and the bass guitars. So what happened? The school would have these classical artists come in and play. You see, and the kids didn't want to hear classical music, so the auditorium would be bare. No one there.
Funny, how funny.
Yeah. So the director, music director, man, professor, the head man, he made it mandatory that all music majors, attend the concerts, man. So what I did, I put together this jazz orchestra and R&B group, and we weren't supposed to do it But word went around that Pat Littlejohn is going to have a concert on a Friday night. No, Saturday night.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Pat Littlejohn will have a concert Saturday night. The auditorium was jam-packed.
I bet.
It was packed. We had kids all on the balcony, man, hanging over the balconies, man. And I had a group, one of the groups that was on the show, the guy sang Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. And when he sang, ooh, baby, boy, I mean, the crowd just went wild.
Yeah.
They went wild, man.
Baby, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Melvin, you know, he was something like Teddy Pendergrass. He didn't look that well, but that Melvin is the same, man. And
Ooh.
yeah,
I bet the girls were swooning there.
Yeah, they were, and then I had to go horn section, man. We hit that. I know you want to leave me, but I die by the Temptation, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what happened? This guy, this guard, he walked in, man. Little short came up to me. He came up to me. He knew I was the one that did it. He said, we will see you Monday morning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And you know what happened?
What happened?
The director of the music department, man, he got all my, you know, the people who were teaching me, you know, in the school, man.
Yes.
He told them, I want you to flunk Pat Littlejohn.
Wow, is that even, I don't think that's legal. He can't really do that. What happened? That's amazing.
Everybody did it except two. That was Mr. Davenport. He was the band director, you know, of the school, and it was Miss Butler. I was taking classical piano lessons from her, and they told me to him, no, we are not going to flunk Pat because he's not doing flunking. You know, he's not flunking the course.
Yeah.
But that burnt him up. All of a sudden, the kids demanded that we have jazz, so we started doing jazz outside. On the block.
Oh, I love this story. This is just making my heart dance because I love jazz and I love how you stood up and you did what your heart was telling you to do. That's the courageous conqueror right there. But I want you to tell me and tell everybody, what do you love about jazz? What is it? What is it about improvisational type piano and music that you love compared to classical?
Yeah, well, I'll give you an example. Okay, I had to play this Bach, you know, Jesu, joy, man, desire. Da, 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 da. If you missed one note, everybody, ooh, he missed a note. See? But in jazz, you don't have to worry about that.
You're
You know,
absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Thelonious Monk, they got on him. He was asked to teach the class at Columbia University, you know, why he played all those wrong notes. He said there are no wrong notes in jazz.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yay. Yes, that is so true. You hit a wrong note and you embellish on it and make it into something wonderful. You just keep going with it. I love the freedom. For me, jazz gives you freedom to just express from your heart.
Oh yeah, it would give you freedom. But the thing about it, see, in my situation, you know, I had to learn both jazz and classical theory. When I got out of school, you know, there was no place for band directors. But I was offered to play the jazz club. But I played, but that guy told me, he played with Count Basie. He told me, he said, man, that classical music gonna mess you up, man. You know that, don't you? But one thing he told me, you know, he said, man, leave those books alone. You get you some records, you get some new records, and you listen to the masters, man, the jazz masters, man. You understand? Like he was he was a John Coltrane freak.
Yeah.
I got John Coltrane recordings, and I had to learn the style. McCoy Tyner. Now, I got one of his compositions on YouTube now called Aisha. You know, Patrick Littlejohn. My way of playing it, you see, I did it in a classical style. You will hear it if you go online on YouTube, Patrick Littlejohn, Aisha.
Fantastic. Awesome.
So I think there's something really important that you're saying, and I love this, that, you know, as a jazz musician, it's so important to listen to the masters. You said listening to the recordings over and over again, but then there's that moment where it becomes your own and you're just freed up. And you mentioned Tyner and Thelonious and, you know, Coltrane. And I remember listening to those in my mom's basement and playing along with it over and over until the licks and riff became just really easy for me. And then something happens and you make it your own. And I love that you said you listened to Tyner and then you played it in your own way, this classical way, classical jazz kind of spin on it that just made it amazing. Is there anybody else that really inspired you and caused a shift in you and the way that you express yourself in your own unique, amazing way?
Well, Herbie Hancock.
I did too. I love Herbie Hancock. Who else?
Yeah, and it's cool jazz. You know, Mal Davis. You know, there was a lot of mortal playing. You know, Mal Davis. Like so what? I mean, that was a good. The brothels are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you see what happened. Dizzy Gillespie. Dizzy Gillespie got into it.
Dizzy Gillespie, yeah.
Yeah, and see, Dizzy, man, he was in that bebop.
Yeah.
And he played hundreds of notes. Him and no Charlie Parker.
Oh, yeah, wow, I love it.
Mal Davis said, it's not how many notes you play, it's your choice of notes. And that's when he came up with the birth of the cool. The birth of the cool, man.
Birth of the cool, but you know, I think you're pretty cool too, Patrick. I mean, you've been talking about Miles Davis, Herbie Hancock, Dizzy Gillespie, Charlie Parker, very cool dudes, but you are pretty cool yourself. And a lot of times these jazz and blues performers, what makes them great is that they've gone through something, and that's what this is all about. Courageous creative conquerors is going through struggles in life and coming out of it a better person and a more creative person, finding a creative outlet to solve these kinds of problems. And you certainly did that. So you told me that you were homeless at one time, and I went through that too. And I would love for you to share a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah. I was homeless for a while. I ended up at the Salvation Army.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up, and see, we had to leave, and we go out and sit on Main Street on the bench, you know, and wait till it's time to go back to eat lunch, man. That's what we did, man. I got sick again. And,
yes.
It landed me in a mental hospital, and then I had severe problems, man, because the medication they gave me at the mental hospital caused me to have seizures, man. I broke both ankles. I got a steroid in my leg. I shattered some bones in my vertebrae. You know, fractured my hands. You know, all that. So I had to go to the nursing home.
Did you say, I don't know if I heard you correctly, did you say you fractured your hand?
Oh, yeah, I fractured my hand. Yeah, I couldn't play piano for a while, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But I was in a nursing home. I was bedridden. Yeah, but I started hearing all this beautiful music. Man. And when I was able to become mobile, I had to learn how to walk again.
Yeah.
I I had to learn how to play the piano again.
Wow.
Yes. When I got mobile, I was hearing all this beautiful music. And the one piece I heard was Dream of Peace. It's on the internet. It's on the internet now. It's on YouTube, in fact. I heard Dream of Peace. And I called my brother and I called my sister. And I told them to send me some manuscript paper. So my brother and my sister sent me some manuscript paper to the nursing home. And I started to write my music, man. But you know, the piano, I had problems with the piano in the dining room because that's where I had to go, you know, play, you know, try to play my music, man. But I was in the rehabilitation therapy room. She came to me and told me, she said, Patrick, go to your room. Go to my room for what? I went into the room and the entertainment people had bought me a Casio piano for me to finish my composition with.
Amazing. That's so great.
It was 2 tracks, a Casio piano, man. And I mean, I had manuscript paper all over the floor, all over the bed and everywhere, man. And a physical therapist who worked there on call played violin on the local symphony orchestra. She found me. She said, I heard you were writing a song for orchestra and a choir piano. And I said, well, yes. She said, can I look at your score? So I picked up all of my paper, you know, and I gave it to her, you know. And the Dream of Peace, I had the French horns, and I'm quite sure you heard Tchaikovsky's War of 1812.
Yeah.
I had the French horns. I asked her, man, I pointed at the French horn part. I asked her, can the French horn play this? I had French horn, they were climbing that scale, man. She said, well, I think so. She said, I tell you what. She said, when you finish it, she gave me her card. She said, you call me, and I'll come and pick it up, and I will take it to the conductor of the orchestra. Okay, fine. I finished it. She came and she picked it up and she took it to the choir director and the orchestra conductor. I wanted to be discharged. I had to be discharged. See?
Yes.
But I demanded that I be discharged, man. And they finally let me out. And I started living over here, where I am now. And when the violin player went to the hospital and wanted to know where I lived, they couldn't reveal to her where I lived. You see.
Yeah.
And you see what happened? My physical therapist, I don't know, she had a great intuition. She said, I was here, she called me. And so my physical therapist told me that I got a feeling you should call. So I called her, man, and she went, crazy, Pat, we're going to play your music. We're going to play your music next week. No,
That's
2 weeks.
amazing. Yeah.
So I went to practice with her, man. I walked in, man, and it was like, wow, man. See, and you know, they played it all right. It got to a point where I stopped them. I said, now look, y'all can see what I did. That's a such thing as a direct modulation. You know, when I went from one key to another.
Yes.
But you see, it kind of tripped them up a little bit. I had to stop, you know.
Yeah. How did that feel to be performing your music? with them.
I mean, it feels great.
Yeah.
I mean, and,
Yeah.
but one of my greatest achievements, I think,
Terrific.
it was when I was chosen,
Yes.
all over the country, man, to play in Chantalton, Minnesota, man. Gene, I touched the hearts, man, of people out there in the audience, man. It was like this, the spirit just came from my head, man, that crown chakra, man, just went all over my body, man, into the piano, man, and it was just pure, it was just, silence, man, silence.
Whoa, I love what you just said, Patrick. That's so important. You're describing the flow through your body, feeling it everywhere and getting into that zone. And when we do that, and I know you're describing a spiritual experience, spirit moving through you. And for me, that's really important. My relationship with God as a musician. But no matter what you believe, just going deep with the music, going there into the zone, when we do that and others see that and feel that, there's often a hush. There's this connection between the audience and the musical performer. And that quality in a musician is just so important, and you have that.
I mean, it was something else. It was something else. I got friends all over the world.
Patrick, I just love how bold you were in doing what you love to do, doing the jazz. That was very, very brave of you. And it just tells me a lot about your character. And I think it's a good time now for us to play some of your music for folks. I think they want to hear that. So I'm going to pop that on right now. my goodness, that was just so lovely. Thank you so much, Patrick. You know, I think in this time that we're living in right now, and certainly every day and every moment, it's important to have these times where we just tune in to the blessings of God and the blessings of life all around us, the joy and happiness. And certainly your life has demonstrated that, and your music demonstrates that.
Thank you very much.
I love your passion for jazz, and that you took a stand and did what your heart wants you to do. And by doing that, you inspire others to do the same, to face their obstacles and never give up on their dreams.
Thank you.
Goodbye to everyone, and look forward to seeing you next time.